shadows.
Welcome back to the Goat Locker Racing Summer Mazda MX-5 Series for the final race of our summer series, where tonight we will run from Oulton Park. I'm Sky Shrek. I'm joined up in the booth tonight by Sam Yosef and, as always, our producer, Kobe Jordan. And after 7 long weeks of competition, the season will come to an end at a pretty iconic track for MX-5s on iRacing, the Oulton Park International layout, and we've got a lot of different drivers who could claim this championship. Samuel, have you ran this track? What do you make of it?
Yeah, this is like one of those foundational tracks in iRacing, especially in MX-5. Best place to learn how to control your car with the brake pedal. So I'm expected to see these drivers really send it into these corners. It's going to be a fun race tonight.
So we've got 2 minutes here left in this qualifying session before we get ready to run our race tonight. 67 degrees is the current track air temperature, 70 is the current track temp, so it's going to be on the cooler side tonight. Jordan Trask, I think he's locked up the title. If not, he is very close to locking up the title with a good performance tonight in that 79 car. Don't know if he's quite there yet, but he is rocking right on the door of a championship. Chris Nail sits second in the points. The big battle is going to be between him and Joshua Jackson for third. Nail does not have a win. Jackson has 3, but a couple bad races, some technical issues for Jackson have kept him out of the win column over a couple weeks, where he really needed to have good runs if he wanted to make a fight at the championship. So he currently sits in third at the moment. Jesse Fox enters this race in fourth with Brock Price, Kevin Price, Bill Molfeld, Charles Abert, Joshua Pinnell, and Alexander Sexauer, the remainder of your top 10. And back from there, it's Anise Softage, Jamie Libke, Matt Weavers, Jason Kristen, Patrick Dravick, Ian Miller. Hey, Sam, you're up there in 17th still. And Carter Bronneman will go from 18th in the points. I do not believe he is in the field tonight. I do not believe some of these drivers who are maybe a little further back in the points are in the field tonight. And obviously, Sam up here in the booth with us tonight. We've got 12 cars rolling off the grid, and right now, it's looking like Jordan Trask is maybe not going to be able to set a qualifying time tonight here. Well, let's see. He's going to come out of the corner. There's 38 seconds left to go in qualifying. I think he might just get there in time and put a lap on the board in that 79 car. We'll see what he does as he crosses the line. No, that lap is invalid. He went off track. So Jordan Trask, your points leader, will start from the rear.
Damn. Well, he has the speed to get up there. You know, riding, like you said, I was part of the series, riding through him. I'm sure he'll make it through the field, so it should be an interesting battle now.
Yeah, very clearly has speed. He'll start in 12th out of our 12-car field tonight. He was 4th in practice with, we'll say it a little early here as qualifying comes to an end right now. Your pole sitter tonight, Joshua Jackson, was the fastest both in practice and qualifying. He was 1.3 seconds faster than second place Chris Nail in qualifying, and 1.2 seconds faster than the second place car in practice. So he's got it moving right now in that 73. Chris Nail will go from P2. It'll be Calvin Giori in the 007 going from P3. Calvin Jerry in the 007 going from P3. I want to make sure we get that right. Jamie Libke in the 16 will go from P4. Charles Abert in the 7 tonight, next to Jesse Fox in the 17. Jason Kristen in the 02 starts in 7th, next to Jake Ham, 8th in the 21. He's a driver who's fast. We'll expect him to move up the field. Alexander Sexauer starts 9th in the 333, next to Dave Calvert in the 90. And your last 2 cars in the field tonight will be the 52 of Matt Weavers and the 79 of Jordan Trask.
Yeah, going to be standing start for these drivers, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. Looks like Joshua Jackson has the speed, but we'll see how it goes with this standing start.
Yeah, Joshua Jackson has had some trouble with the standing start this year. He had one race where he immediately won off the track after starting on pole, crashed turn 1, had a technical issue, wasn't able to come back out on track. I believe a couple races later, 1 week later in week 6 of the season, Joshua Jackson had an accident within the first couple laps of the race after starting up at the top 2 spots. Was not able to finish that time either. So he started up on pole a lot this season, but that has not stopped him from having a little bit of bad luck that has maybe kept him out of the win column more times than he would like, and has ultimately, I think, kept him out of a championship win this season as well. But he will start right up at the front of the grid this time. And as everybody has gridded up, the lights will come on here above the racetrack at Oulton Park as we get ready to go for 1 hour of racing. We are green at Oulton Park. It's immediately a great jump for Joshua Jackson. He's going to get away there pretty early down this front straightaway. He's got Chris Nail behind him in second, Jerry in third, and it's going to be door-to-door with Jamie Libke, Charles Abert for fourth. Libke holds that spot for now as Abert takes a little bit of the grass on the outside of turn one. Battle brewing already. A little bit deeper in the field here for P8 as Jesse Fox and Alexander Sexauer going at it. Big move for Charles Abert back in P5 as he's trying to stay ahead of Jason Christen back there in the 0-2. And now Jake Ham in the 21 is going to give a shot to the back of Charles Abert in that battle. They'll go door to door down the straightaway here, this longest part of the track, all the way down through turns 4 and 5. And Abert with a bad run on the inside. He'll give up the spot to Jason Christen, but it is a melee back here as cars make their way through this high-banked corner. Jake Ham, Jesse Fox, and Alexander Sexauer all clearing Charles Abert, who drops to P9 in a hurry.
Yeah, it's turning out to be one intense start. These cars are starting to file in single file, especially coming through this S section. Really going to hit the brakes to get through this corner. Charles Abert, and looking at him right now, they're going now into the back end of the track, hard braking zone into this corner. A really good passing point for these cars. So we'll see while this race goes on if cars try to take advantage of this corner right here.
Yeah, a lot of this track is very fast, very flowing, and I think we're going to see most of the passes. Oh, as we got a car around there, a little bit up the field. That was Jason Christen. He was running up the field when that happened, and P7 started this race. I think he was in P5 when that spin occurred, but he will drop to the back and will have to rework his way back up the field. He'll get a replay right here, making his way through the chicane in that blue Ghost car. And he's just going to clip the inside grass there and loop that car around. Caught a little too much at the corner, and that's the end result.
Yeah, these MX-5s have such false confidence sometimes going through these flowing corners. You're really going to put the gas on, and if you clip those corners, that's the result of what's going to happen.
By the way, Jordan Trask already has this car up into P5, P6. He just got around Alexander Sexauer after starting this race in last. So clearly moving pretty well, though he's way off the track there and has to make a save. Slides all the way to the other side of the grass, but manages to keep that one going. He's going to need to be a little more careful. Can't do that again if he wants to track down Joshua Jackson for a potential lead tonight. Chris Nail is up here in second. He just wants a win. He's second in points, hasn't won a race yet tonight. Man, he wants to win badly.
Yeah, riding with Chris Nail. I raced against him this season. He is one of those drivers who will be adamant and on your tail all race. Few mistakes really from him. Great season from him so far. Looking at it running through this, I like to call it the don't break your car section, because you can really hit that interior wall right there through the corner. But it looks like Joshua Jackson had a great launch through it, and now Jerry is putting the pressure on Chris Nail.
Yeah, that 007 car is starting to move his way up through the field. We know he's fast. He's only ran a couple races here in the MX-5 series this season, but when he does turn out to race, he is a consistent contender in the field and always a driver who can fight his way right up at the front of it. So we'll see if he is able to get it done here tonight. I would not be surprised if he's able to bring it home on the podium in that 007 machine, as Chris Nail does start to lose a little bit of time back there to the 73 of Joshua Jackson up in front of this field. It's not been a good start for Charles Abert. That car started in 5th, currently running P10. He has just been in free fall over the last few laps. Jordan Trask, the opposite. He's your biggest mover so far tonight as we continue to watch Giori hound the back of the 48 of Chris Nail as they make their way down the front straightaway. Don't think he's going to be close enough to try and move into turn 1, but watch turn 4 and 5 down here, that big hairpin. If he can get a good set of corners, he could be right there. And with Nail off in the grass, he's going to slide that car back and forth, and that's going to open the door for the 007 down on the inside of turn 3 here. Got that car to the corner side, and he's going to get clear as we make our way through turn 3. Calvin Jerry up to P2.
Yeah, don't discount this battle yet. Chris Nail's going to get the toe going through this long section. It's going to be a nice hard braking zone until the banking, but it looks like he's backing off just a little bit. Will he make the move? Probably not. And it's a great move by Jerry to now take P2 and possibly hunt down Joshua Jackson for P1.
Don't believe Calvin Jerry has a win yet this season. I'm not sure if he even has a podium this season. So this could be a big opportunity for him to move his way into a better spot and move his way into an interview so we can hear from him in the booth post-race as you see just how close these drivers are willing to cut it to that tire barrier down there in the corner. You're really trying to get every single inch through that chicane. We mentioned Jake Ham was going to be a car who was able to move his way up through the field tonight. He's getting that done right now as he's going to bump Jamie Libke, and Jamie Libke goes into the tire barrier, getting spun out by Jake Ham. I don't think she's going to be very happy about that one. Trask got caught up in it as well there in the 79 car, and Ham goes way off-roading, and Sexauer and Trask have to split him there. Very damaged car. You can see the front bumper missing for Jake Ham after that contact.
Yeah, I don't want to be in the car of the 16 right now. There's a history between these two drivers. Call it a rivalry or call it just accidental luck that these cars always get together. But if we get a replay and see the braking point, I think Jamie took the normal braking point and Jake Ham just went in a little too deep. Let's take a replay look right now. Just trying to see what happened. Now, Jamie Lipke took the normal braking point, and it looks like Jake Ham just gave a nice helping of let's hit that interior barrier right there.
Yeah, Jake Ham just kind of punted Jamie Libke into that wall. Sexauer's gotten around Trask, by the way, here for P4. This is a crazy battle going on. A little bit deeper back in the field, already 10 seconds back almost to the third car. Sexauer blocking hard, trying to maintain this battle as Jordan Trask is going to send a move up the inside here through turn 3. And a great job there by him to force that pass and get clear. We'll see if Sexauer in the 333 car is able to fight back and get his way back up to fourth. As you can see, quite a bit of damage on the Jordan Trask car from that incident as well. Your championship leader, your likely championship winner, barring a catastrophic race tonight. He's going to need to hold on with some nose damage for at least the next 30 minutes till he can bring that car in the pits. Jake Ham has made a pit stop. He took a faster pair on that 21 car, and he will now come out 30 seconds behind Chuck Abert in 10th. All the way back in 11th. Last car running right now as Jamie Libke sits in the pits after having to take a tow. This is a battle brewing a little bit deeper in the field. Here you've got Matt Wiebers, you've got Jason Kristen, you've got Charles Abert. This is P8 through 10. Kristen was running up in the field earlier trying to recover from that spin. We'll see if he has an opportunity down into this chicane complex. Turns 10 through 12 here. He'll back out. Doesn't want to force the issue as they make their way through this set of corners. And, oh, Weaver's off in the grass there, but Kristen a little loose, so it kind of balances out.
Yeah, like I said, this is that false confidence section. You can dip your tire into the grass or dip your tire into those raised curves and really spin this MX-5 out. This is one of my favorite corners on this track. It's kind of, if you set it up right in the beginning, you can really gain time on the exit, and that's what you see right now as Abert trying to catch up to Kristen. Is either car going to send it into the inside? No, they play the safe game, but I think Kristen gave enough of a spook to Weavers right there, and it's gonna go into turn 1 now.
Yeah, and Kristen is maybe the faster car here. He certainly started further up the field in P7, just had that spin that's really set him back, and he's been on the back foot trying to drive his way back to the field ever since. You've seen a couple cars clip the grass there on the exit of turn 1 so far today. That's going to be a problem spot. I think we're going to see a lot of drivers kicking up some dirt and dust as Kristen misses the corner down here into turn 3 and sends it all the way through the dirt, and that is going to immediately lose him out on this battle, and he'll have to regain another 5 seconds or so if he wants to get back into it. Just totally missed the corner there in that 0-2.
Yeah, just overshot into the corner by Jason Kristen. This is one of those tracks. It's a fun track. It really flows nice, but if you make a mistake, it will make you pay very dearly for it. Looking at this battle right now, we're looking at between, I believe that's
Weavers and Abert.
Yeah, Weavers and Abert. Once again, they're still close battle right now. Yeah, just unfortunate for Jason Kristen and Jamie Libke. Those two cars really not getting the flow right now. And especially that turn 1 to turn 2 corner, you may think that's an off track, but really the track limits of that corner go further out than expected. So that's why some of those cars are going out there that far.
Yeah, it's a little bit more forgiving with our 16x incident limit tonight. I'll tell you what, Calvin Jerry in the 007 has not gone away from the 73 of Joshua Jackson here. He's consistently kept that gap around a second. At the line last time by, it was a 152.68 for Joshua Jackson, who's going all the way wide through that corner, and a 152.772 for Kalman Jerry. So Jerry slower by less than a tenth. They're running pretty equal lap times, and let's see if that 007 can maybe catch up and make it a game here. Joshua Jackson has been quite a consistent driver once he's able to settle into a rhythm out here at the front of the field. So Jerry's going to have to try really hard if he wants to be able to pass that 73 and steal the lead away here tonight at Oulton Park. Battle not done for P8 back here either. Charles Abert is on the back bumper of Matt Wiebers, and these two cars have been close for a while, but Abert would like to get his spot back after starting up in P5. He'll send a move to the inside. Here he'll have the inside through turn 4, and he's got more speed as well. So I think Wiebers is going to back out here. He'll hit the brakes. He'll give Chuck Abert the spot, and that will be that yellow and gray 7 car of Abert up to P8 through turn 5, although Matt Wiebers not going anywhere just yet in that 52. We'll see what he's able to do if he's able to put a move on Abert and get that spot back.
Yeah, textbook move by Abert as he dips a tire into the grass, trying to set up for this corner. Really ran well out of turn 3 to turn 4 and gave him that real good run behind Wiebers right there. You saw Jason Kristen in the background. He's starting to pick up a little bit of time between these two, hoping if these two continue to battle on, it'll allow.
Whoa, Matt Wiebers just hit the tire barrier. And that is going to be rough for that car. He's definitely still got some damage, but iRacing maybe overreacted. Oh, and he's going to go for a ride through the grass, and he's going to take this car out anyway.
Yeah.
Well, he dodged a near disaster there in the chicane, and then made his way up through turn 15, or I guess turn 13 there, and had a disaster anyways.
Yeah, I think iRacing was like, wait a second, you're supposed to be dead. Let me fix that real quick. And made him sure that he dipped his tire into the grass on the next corner. Let's going back to Alexander Sexauer. He's got Jordan Trask on his tail. And honestly, props to Alexander Sexauer. He is one of those drivers where will fight for every corner, every inch. He is going to make sure that you earn the position after him. Call it the Great Wall of Sexauer, honestly, when I run against him. And to be honest, he's doing a great showing right now. Jordan Trask has been trying in and outs. I've been watching this battle in the background, and Sexauer's just made sure that, hey, if you're going to earn this, you're going to have to push me out the way, buddy.
There's Jesse Fox behind him right now that we're on board with. Trask got around him that couple laps to go. Has got our first DNF of the night. Jamie Libke has called it quits after getting punted into the tire barrier by Jake Ham a couple laps to go. So this is the battle for P5 still. On lap 7 of this race, just under a quarter of the way through, the Oreo machine of Jesse Fox trying to give some problems to Alexander Sexauer, who had a great chicane right there, and it'll put a little bit of a gap between these two cars. Jesse Fox, I'm not sure he's been on the podium yet, but he's had a quietly good, quietly consistent season. He's running the top 5 quite a bit, and that's put him 4th in points at the present moment.
Yeah, I mean, my experience with Jesse Fox is, especially in our ARCA series, one of those drivers who came into the league a little rough, not used to iRacing as much, got into a competitive scene thanks to Goat Locker, and has really stepped up his game ever since. I've seen him consistently in the top 10 of our oval racing, and watching him in MX-5 is really... Oh, Aber almost dipping that car in the grass that would have sent him to the wall on the other side.
Yeah, Sexauer and Fox both got way out in the grass there. That was a close one.
Yeah, I'm miscalling people's names, so I apologize for that. But yeah, Sexauer, he's really trying to make sure he holds this top 5. But Jesse Fox, he's definitely putting on a great show right now.
These cars are running pretty consistent. This is the nearest battle on track. It's been a bad couple of laps for Kalman Jerry up there. Didn't run great last time by, lost 0.8 of a second to Joshua Jackson. He peaked on lap 4, and he's been slower every lap since, and that has allowed that 73 car to pull back the advantage here about a quarter of the way through this race and get himself a 2-second lead. You can see the last lap time there. Chris Nail was actually the second fastest car on track, as Jackson was dominant last lap over pretty much everybody else, and then it was Jerry, Trask, Jake Ham back there, and Jason Kristen, 2 cars who have been very fast but have also been involved in their fair share of incidents that have held them back tonight. And then Alexander Sexauer in that 333, the other car breaking the 154 barrier at the moment. Discount Jamie Libke. She only ran a partial lap before getting taken out there on her last lap, as this is still the only battle, but within about a second and a half here is Jesse Fox on Alexander Sexauer, and really got to be careful through these chicanes. On that tire barrier can really catch you out, either in the turns 7 through 9 complex or in the turns 10 and 11 complex. We've seen a couple drivers get caught up in those tire barriers already tonight, and you're running just inches away from them trying to maximize your line. You've got to be pinpoint perfect through there all night long.
Yeah, I've had my fair share of running into the barriers right there. This, like I said, this is one of those foundational tracks in iRacing, especially if you're getting into MX-5. This is the first track you'll probably get your first taste of racing on the service. So I'm sure a lot of these drivers have as much experience as they can through this track. It's just one of those things where you push the line a little too far and you pay the price for it.
Oh, and here's a move for Fox. Both cars way off in the grass there. That section of grass, I'm not sure what it is about like that exit of turn 1 here at Oulton Park, but I feel like that section of grass has more grip than literally any other section of grass on iRacing. And you've seen it here because we've had a couple cars get way out into it tonight, but very few actually get loose through there. It's a really interesting little piece of iRacing right there.
Yeah, if you really look at the track, if you ever took the time to like go through corners and understand what you're racing in, there is a mesh. I'm not sure if it's like a wire mesh or something of steel, but it is under the grass, which allows the cars to kind of grip up a little bit better than if you were just on regular grass. And that's what allows these cars to really go out a little bit wider than possible. And it looks like you're abusing track limits, but you're actually within track limits. And I think it's because we also have our formula cars in iRacing race here. That's why it's out there like that.
Yeah, it's a really interesting corner, and one that you can run a couple different types of lines on and a couple different strategies in and still end up pretty good. And as you see right there, on that last lap time, Joshua Jackson has just continued to pull away from Calvin Giori here. I think that 007 car might have to worry a little bit more about Chris Nail than he is about Jackson. We'll count him at the line this time by, and it is still 0.8 faster for the driver of the 73 car. That gap extended up to 4 seconds at the moment in the battle for the lead.
Yeah, Joshua Jackson probably is somebody who has raced this track 1,000 times and can race this blindfolded. He's really showing that to the field right now. That driver you were looking out for, Jordan Trask, he made his way through the field, got up P4, and he's not really tracking down Chris Nail. He is running a little bit faster, about the same time as Joshua Jackson. But 42 minutes left. You never know what's going to happen. And you said Joshua Jackson has had incidents before where he hasn't been able to capitalize. But looking at this battle of Sexauer and Fox, once again, Sexauer being the Great Wall of Sexauer, and he's just able to keep Jesse Fox behind. Jesse Fox not really pushing the envelope, not really trying to be too aggressive. Maybe is using the draft of Sexauer to save some fuel and maybe pass him on pit stops. But when I say that, he had a great exit right there. So we'll see if he pushes the envelope now, but it looks like Sexauer still has this under control.
Yeah, Jesse Fox is going to try to make his way through. This is Jesse Fox who likes to go on the attack, and Alexander Sexauer, who is always really good at defending here whenever we see him racing in the MX-5 series, and he's doing a pretty good job of defending here tonight as he makes his way through that chicane there down through turns 10 and 11. Both cars using a little bit of grass there on the exit of 11, try and maximize their line. You can see even there in turn 12, all the little tire tracks from cars just going slightly wide here. This is a track where it's very fast, it's very flowy, and cars have a tendency to go a little bit wide because it does get pretty narrow in certain points. And that's how you see all those tire lines kind of forming on the outside of corners. Not something you see at every track here on iRacing.
Yeah, I mean, it really, like I said, this is one of those tracks where you start to learn the MX-5, and with the MX-5 not having power steering and whatnot, you can use the brake pedal to really guide the car through corners, especially this, as we see Joshua Jackson going through this long corner into the hard braking zone. You can really use the brake pedal to point the car in the direction that you want to. And that's one of the things you'll need to learn if you want to move up into, say, GT3 or GT4 racing, where you do have power steering, but the use of the brake pedal, trail braking, all these fundamentals in sports car racing, this is the series where you learn those traits and build up those habits.
1/3 of the way through this one now, and this is still the most exciting battle on track here. It's battle for fifth between Alexander Sexauer and Jesse Fox. Joshua Jackson pulling away up here at the front of the field with Calvin Gury second, Chris Nail third, Jordan Trask fourth, and then you've got this battle between Sexauer and Fox. Then it is David Calvert in seventh in the 90. Dave Calvert in seventh in the 90. Charles Abert in 8th, Jason Kristen 10th, Jason Kristen 9th, Jake Ham 10th, Matt Weber's 11th, one lap down, and Jamie Libke out of the race after an early accident with her and Jake Ham down into the turn 10 chicane. As Sexauer has finally generated a bit of a gap here between him and Jesse Fox, up to 1 second after Fox had been really hounding him over those last few laps, despite them being two of the slower cars on track with how Abert, Kristen, and Ham were running. It is, once again, 0.3 faster for Joshua Jackson over Calvin Gury last time around, that 73 car, putting on a clinic up here at the front of the field, and it is going to take maybe a mistake or maybe something crazy for a driver find his way up to that 73 car tonight.
Yeah, I mean, one thing we do have to notice, we're going to be about 30 minutes into the race. Tires will start to become an important factor. This track likes to work tires, as we see Joshua Jackson through the, I like it to call it an elevator section, but it's a banking corner. But the tires are getting worked. You're going left, right, long corner, hard braking zones and whatnot. So they are killing their tires. This might be the opportunity for Jesse Fox to really make the move on Alexander Sexauer. Sexauer's blocking real hard, making sure that there's no opening for Jesse Fox to do it. Jesse Fox, once again, will be timid and not really push the envelope. So bails out Sexauer once again. But it seems like, Sexauer with a mistake on exit. It looks like these exits for Sexauer through these corners is not working out. And Jesse Fox is able to get close to him, but he's not close enough or in an area where it's a hard braking zone where he can make that pass on him.
Yeah, Jesse Fox is still just lurking there in the background as he's been unable to find his way back up to this fight. We do have a little bit of battle going for P7 at the moment, with Charles Abert being faster than the 90 of David Calvert right now. Abert was 0.2 up last time around. He's closed that gap down to 0.3 of a second, and I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to see a move there for P7 before too long, as Charles Abert is caught right up to the back of Calvert, and I think Calvert is going to let him by here. Yeah, Calvert recognizing that Charles Abert is the faster car, he'll move over, he'll pull by, and it'll be Charles Abert up to P7th, P8.
Yeah, great move by Abert right there, putting Calvert in a position to make a decision, and Calvert decides, hey, you got it, sir. So into the last two corners for this track. And I don't know, Sky, if you follow GT3 racing and whatnot, but some people in England consider this track England's version of the Nürburgring. And if you're familiar with the Nürburgring, it is a lot bigger, a lot more challenging than this track. But with the limited space in England, I'm pretty sure there's a reason why they nickname it this. Looking at I don't know who that is, actually. I think that's Jerry right there. And Chris Nail is starting to pick up his toe. He gets to that 1.1 second distance behind Jerry. It's gonna be a nice battle brewing up here so far.
So I feel like it's almost a little bit more like the Hockenheim ring back when they had that big loop, because you've got that huge run down into that big turn 5 chicane there, followed by that big turn 5 hairpin there, that kind of separate from the rest of the track, and then you've got a bunch of chicanes mixed into it as well. It does kind of feel like an old Hockenheim style of layout at certain points on this racetrack.
And that's very impressive that you went into your bag and you pulled out something that I wasn't expecting. So props to you on that. That's really good callback right there. But I mean, we're hitting that midpoint of the race, and this is where the patience is going to become important for these drivers. As you see, this track doesn't really reward desperation, as we see Jerry and Nail go through the first corner, just going on edge where they need to be actually. But the mistakes will pile up here, and once you make these mistakes, it might be race over or race ender for you going into this last 30 minutes.
Yeah, we're almost halfway through this thing already, which is going to open the door for pit stops here pretty shortly, I would have to imagine. Drivers coming down to take fuel and tires, likely 4 tires on the car here. And, well, we've got our first car in. Jason Kristen will come into the pits as I say that. And I'm imagining this is going to be a fuel 4-tire stop, and he is going to take a fast repair as well to get the damage out of the right front fender of that car. As I haven't seen any tires go up yet on this thing. Is he going to do fuel only? That would be a strategy. Jake Ham will follow him in there as well. Jake Ham already has pit once this race. And Jake Ham speeding on pit road, black flag there on entry. So bad to worse for him. This is his second pit stop of the night, and it is, well, it's going to be no tires here for Jason Kristen. That is fuel only, and also a pretty long pit stop. So not entirely sure what happened there for the O2, but I don't think fuel only is going to be the strategy here. It hasn't really worked at all this season, as Chris Nail riding on the back of Calvin Jerry here under half a second.
Yeah, if we recall back to when we were in Oschersleben a couple weeks ago, I did a 2-tire stop rather than a 4-tire stop, and I paid for the price for it at the end, even though it was a great battle for that final P3 position. But getting sniped on the line, if I had 4 tires, I probably would have had... Oh, Jerry getting a little loose on entry right there. So Chris Nail's really starting to put the pressure on. Let's see what happens going into this downhill section. Great view right now. Jerry just trail braking into the corner, trying to have a good exit so that that Chris Nail doesn't have the toe. Looks like he accomplished that feat, but the toe is starting to kick in. This battle's not far from over yet.
Yeah, and this is going to happen about 5 seconds back of your leader, Joshua Jackson. I think he probably wants to see these cars going at it, because the more they battle, the better it's going to be for him, and the more of a gap he's going to be able to open before he finally makes his pit stop there in that 73 car. It has been domination so far for Joshua Jackson, and all he needs to do is keep it moving, and he will be in really good shape coming down to the end of this one.
Yeah, watching Jerry, I think Jerry is suffering from using his tires up a little too much, being a little too aggressive on corner entry and sliding those tires, which is probably burning them up a little bit more than usual. I'm not sure what mistakes. You see it right there. Slides the car through that corner. That is where an area where you can start killing your tires a little bit. He is able to bring that gap back out to about 5/10, but the toe is going to allow Chris Nail to shrink it back to maybe 2/10 or 3/10. Going through this fast corner, this is where you can make or break time. We got a hard braking zone coming up. Jerry going very defensive. Chris Nail on the outside. Looks like Jerry's going to brake later, and this battle's heating up into turn 1.
Nail is going to try a little bit of a move there. He'll pull a crossover as Calvin Jerry pulls into the pits, and he will opt to make his pit stop instead of continuing that battle. So a close moment there for those cars, and this is going to all come down to where he cycles out in relation to Nail, in relation to Jackson. It's going to be an undercut, but will the undercut be the right call here for the 007 of Calvin Jerry? Left sides on that car go up, and we'll see the right sides go up shortly for a 4-tire pit stop for the driver of that 007 car. As Chris Nail still 6 seconds back. Jordan Trask now up to 3rd as we continue this pit stop cycle. Sexauer and Fox are both going to come in this lap as well from 5th and 6th. Dave Calvert will stay out. We'll see what Charles Abert wants to do back in P8. He will also bring the car down. So a couple cars making their pit stops here this time by, and it is a really bad pit entrance for Charles Abert. He was really slow coming down into that one.
Yeah, it probably wasn't, probably isn't familiar with the pit entrance here at Oulton Park. So you don't want to be like Jake Ham and get a black flag for something that's very avoidable. They do have a pit limiter on this car, so they don't have to speed through pit road. But I understand being a little bit too cautious on pit entry. Looks like that is, I think that's, no, that's, looks like Jesse Fox is leaving pit road in that Oreo car. We have Sex Hour getting jumped by Jesse Fox in the pits. So I wasn't paying attention to it, but I wonder if Sex Hour came in and Jesse Fox did a shorter pit stop as they were right behind each other, and that's what allowed Jesse Fox to jump Sex Hour in the pits.
And as we're going to see Charles Abert come back out on the track here, and your leaders are in Joshua Jackson, Chris Nail, and Jordan Trask all making their way down now. So halfway through this race, we're about to complete a pit stop cycle. So we've got a little bit of a battle going back here. Jerry is going to very easily pass Dave Calvert, who has not come into the pits yet, and battle for position back there in P4. So this is all going to come down to where Jerry cycles out in relation to Jackson, Nail, and Trask, who are all in the pit lane right now. Jerry is making his way around as he's making his way through turns 15 and 16 and 17 down here. And everybody else still in the pits. Jackson's still in there. This is a long pit stop for Joshua Jackson, and he'll come out 6 seconds later than Calvin Guri there in the pits. So long pit stop for him. And as we make our way down, Calvin Jerry is going to be right up in there. So is Chris Nail. They're going to go side by side, but Nail hasn't been able to warm up the tires, and Jerry will get away. Jordan Trask gets the worst of it there, but it's a great stop for Calvin Jerry and a great move for him. He goes from 6 seconds back to 1 second back of Joshua Jackson, and so does Chris Nail back here. They're both right back in this fight.
Yeah, the short run pace of Jerry is very well and very good, as evident with the undercut. He's able to cut down, has Chris Nail right behind him, so that battle isn't over. I did appreciate his little bait and switch on his pit entry to kind of throw off Chris Nail. Chris Nail riding the curb through corner exit. I'm sure the underside of the car doesn't appreciate that. These are the critical moments of the race. If Jerry is able to pass Joshua Jackson in the short, as he's getting his tires up to temp, he's putting the pressure on. We got a heartbreaking zone coming up. Will he throw it in there? I doubt it, especially with that inner tire right there. Though he's safe right there. But if he could keep close and make that pass, as I was saying, he might be able to control Joshua Jackson for the remainder of this race. It's going to be a fun battle to watch till the end.
Jerry very much had the short run pace over the first few laps of this one, but as the race went on and as the laps went on, he slowed down quite a bit. I wonder if he's going to be able to keep the pace up and keep pushing Joshua Jackson, or if we'll see another fall off about 10 minutes into this run. Will Jerry maybe try to get the move done quickly as soon as he can before that fall off occurs, or really try to manage his pace a little more and stay with Jackson for the rest of this race? All going to be on that 007 and what strategy he opts to pull here, as Chris Nail is in this battle as well, but slowly dropping off of it as Calvin Jerry and Joshua Jackson are getting away as your clear top two up here in the field, and it is a huge gap back to pretty much everybody else at the moment. Oh, there goes Nail for a ride. He's going to spin it out, and his race is over. That car is totaled through turn one, caught way too much of the grass, and there he goes. He'll have a fast repair, and he won't even use it. He's left the session immediately. So Chris Nail from third to out, and that'll likely drop him to third in points, and that will end his chance of getting a win here this series, this season.
Yeah, Oulton Park showing its nasty head right there. It doesn't allow for driver mistakes to go unpunished. And you saw right there, he made just a slight mistake, not really bad on some tracks. But here, once you make that slight mistake, you're going to pay dearly for it. And I'm sure Joshua Jackson right now is probably concerned. That was his only defense against Jerry right there. Jerry's starting to fall back just a little bit, so he may have cooked his tires trying to get past Jackson through the pit stops. But it's only them two right now for the win of this race.
And with that second place car of Jerry rapidly closing this gap, Oh, he's kind of backing off now. You got to wonder if he's going to be able to maybe force Jackson into a mistake, or if he does get back up there, if he's going to have to just pull a move on him and try to get this car clear as soon as he can. Jackson has those tires warmed up. He's running some really good lap times there, and he was much quicker that time by through turn 15. And this gap that was under half a second is now back over 1 second. Will Joshua Jackson be able to pull away and get this win, or can Calvin Jerry show him something he hasn't seen before and try to stop that 73 car from getting his 4th win of the season here tonight?
Yeah, Joshua Jackson has been class of the field so far. Jerry just trying to stay within that drafting zone of Joshua Jackson. But as you said, maybe he has cooked his tires. He has great short run speed, but maybe his long run game is not as great as Joshua Jackson. And he's starting to pay the price now with the abuse on his tires.
Yeah, his gap has fallen off pretty rapidly here. Last time by, Jackson was 0.6 of a second clear, and Jerry just doesn't really have it at the moment. He's just slower. Needs to find another gear, needs to find some more pace. If he wants anything to challenge Joshua Jackson. This is still the closest battle in the field, the only battle by about 2.5 seconds in. Black flag for Alexander Sexauer, and the admins just cleared it. See if I can figure out what exactly that was for in the first place.
Yeah, I'm not.
It might have been incident
really
points,
sure.
honestly. He had an off track. He
points.
might have gotten the admins to clear an incident point black flag there for Alexander Sexauer.
Yeah, last race of the season, I'm sure the admins are like, go out there, have fun. Don't really worry about what position you end up with. You definitely earned it through your stripes this season, Alexander. But unfortunate to see. But hey, great job by him to be able to keep going in it.
Yeah, he's running 5th right now. Nearest battle on track is him and Jason Kristen in the 0-2. That car has pulled his way back up to 6th after a long road and a couple incidents so far today, and he is trying to pursue Alexander Sexauer. Last time at the line, we don't have a last time at the line because the mods cleared his black flag, and so he did not actually properly set a lap time. But last time by Kristen was a 1:55.5, and we'll see if he's able to use that time to pick up on Sexauer at all. Right now, he is dropping back a little bit with 23 minutes left to go in this race, and Calvin Giori is out to lunch. I mean, he lost 1.2 seconds last time around. He just doesn't have it right now.
Yeah, it doesn't have it. Great short run speed, but long run pace. He's learning the lesson that this track provides of saving your tires or not abusing the corners as much as you think. There needs to be false confidence, like I said, that this track provides. But Alexander Sexauer, Jason Kristen didn't take tires. I think it was a fuel and car repair only on his pit stop. So very surprised to see Jason Kristen still able to track down some cars that did take fresh tires with their pit stop. I think this battle is going to brew up in a few laps.
We'll see what the lap time differential is at the line this time between Sexauer and Kristen. Sexauer was 0.6 faster that time. He's actually faster than Jesse Fox. There's just an 11-second gap between him at the moment.
Yeah, I'm wondering what happened with Jordan Trask. He wasn't that far off on pit entry between him, Chris Nail, and Jerry and Jackson.
He was 6 seconds off Jerry in the pit lane. He ran a similar lap time to Jackson, but was 6 seconds off of Jerry. So just wasn't a good pit stop. I think he stayed in the box a little bit longer to maybe try and fix some damage on that car, and that was what set him back.
Right. He was involved in the incident with Jamie Lipke earlier in the race, and he had visible right fender damage. So I'm pretty sure that's the reason why he wasn't able to get out as quickly as possible compared to the others.
With 21 minutes left to go here, time is running out for anyone to catch Joshua Jackson, and barring a mistake from that 73 car, I don't think anybody will, because 1.5 seconds up on Calvin Jerry. Oh, Jason Kristen might have just clipped the inside tire barrier. Yeah, he did. He clipped the inside tire barrier at turn 10 there. Oh, never mind. He wrecked the car. I was about to say he kept it straight, but it very clearly broke something in that car, and he drove head on into a tire barrier. So that'll likely be the end of Jason Kristen's night because he has already used his fast repair. So we'll get the replay here. Kristen clips the tire barrier, and it just breaks something, and that car does not turn. It goes straight into a tire barrier.
Yeah, that's frustration right there. Doing so well in certain parts of the track, and in other parts, not really able to nail the car down correctly. And I'm sure Jason Kristen is just like, I'm tired of this right here, and then sent it to the wall. No fast repair in pocket, so it really would have been a race ender for Jason. So fortunate to see, but great to see him race the series through the season. He's made a lot of progress.
2/3 of the way gone, 1/3 of the way left here tonight from Oulton Park in your season finale of the Goat Locker Racing MX-5 series. Joshua Jackson looking like he'll finish second in points after a great season in which he won half the races, but a couple really bad races in the middle of the season just set him back, set him out, and I don't think he's going to be able to grab the championship here tonight. It is looking like that'll go to third place Jordan Trask, who came into this race with a big lead and potentially insurmountable lead unless he had a really bad race tonight. And so far, it's going just fine for him. He's sitting third. He's sitting on the podium. He's got no one within 10 seconds of his front bumper and 33 seconds of his rear bumper, and that's really all he needs tonight is just a quiet, solid night to go out and bring home a championship here in the Summer Series.
Yeah, Jordan Trask just doing what he needs to do, not really having to push the envelope tonight, having that insurmountable lead that he has in the points. So great job by him well, it could have been a race ender. I don't know if that would have affected the championship entirely, but could have been an early race ender for him in the beginning to be caught up in somebody else's accident. But he's been able to keep the car clean ever since, and that's really all he has to do. And heartbreak for Joshua Jackson, just doing what he needs to do. Been on a hot streak towards the end of the season, really hard to catch. But I don't know if those races at like Oschersleben and others really is going to haunt him now about this championship.
Yeah, that race where he just ended up having a tech issue, ended up going straight into the wall in turn 1. I believe that was at VIR in race 5 of the season, and then Oschersleben where he ended up in a wreck very early on in the race and ended up out of that one early as well. And what could have been for Joshua Jackson if he just didn't have those two bad races, those two last place finishes really that set him so far back in the points. I think he would have had a win pretty easily there, as he's a little loose out of that corner, but everything's still good for him with a 5-second lead over Calvin Jerry and 18 minutes left to go tonight. This is really the only battle on track we've got going right now. Abert and Sexauer are... Actually, no, we just have Sexauer into the pits here in the 333. Was that a black flag? Nope, he's just in the pit. So Alexander Sexauer is going to come down. He will make, I believe, his second pit stop of the night there in that 333 car. And he'll drop back.
Yeah, I think he got a meatball, maybe ran into the tire barrier or something like that. Let's look at the instant replay.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he clipped it right there. Same thing that happened to Jason Kristen, where he just clipped that tire barrier and it trashed the left front of his car. So that would be what happened for Sexauer.
Yeah, broken axle, and that's it. The tire is not really cooperating with you. Can't turn. So really impressive that he was able to drag the car back to pit lane, but unfortunate for him after such a great race. And
he had the fast repair there, so he's all set in that battle. I regret to inform everybody at home that we do have a 6-second gap between the nearest cars on racetrack. But hey, we're here. We got cars racing. We're going. And we're going to crown a champion here in just a few more minutes from Oulton Park.
So what's been your favorite moment of the season? I'm kind of late to the broadcasting side here for the series, but you've been here since the beginning. Anything that comes to memory?
We've had some great races. Really, all season long, there have been some really good ones. There have been some great battles. It's obviously the ones up front have been a good time, but there have also been some battles of cars, maybe racing for 7th or 8th in an individual race who have just been going at it all night long. And it's been fun with those cars for a lot of the races this season. I know Okayama was pretty fun. We saw some good racing at Lime Rock, some good racing at VIR, even some good racing at Legacy Phoenix last week as we hit the Roval at that track. So we've had some good ones this season, that's for sure.
Yeah, the first thing that comes to mind is my race at Oschersleben running with Jordan Trask, trying to keep him behind, and he was able to get that at the line. And there was so much I could have done and maybe done a little bit better, but to snipe a podium right at the end of the race on the line, that's heartbreaking right there. But great racing for broadcast. I'm also thinking about the first few races, Summit Point. We had a lot of drivers out there like Patrick Drabick and whatnot, and it was awesome battles on tracks, cars side by side in a tight track, such like this here at Oulton Park. And it was just great to see everybody at Goat Locker Racing showing up for the MX-5 series right there.
3/4 of the race down here tonight, one left to go as Joshua Jackson tries to put a cap on his series leading 4th win of the season. He's taken home a few over the course of this one. Got the win last week in the MX-5 series as he raced around Phoenix. He got the win a couple weeks ago as well. Excuse me, back in June was technically his last one prior to the off week, as he was second at Winton back there and a couple other races where he was just really, really good all race long. I'm trying to find the wins. They have the winner graphics posted, but they don't have the specific track name on those, and I'm getting very lost in that channel on my screen right now. But we've got 7 seconds is the gap between those two cars, and Jackson was still another 0.8 of a second faster over Jerry last time as well. So he doesn't even need to push. He can kind of just vibe. He can kind of just be chill, and he will be able to make it to the end of this one.
Yeah, perfect run by him. Not really pushing the envelope with his tires, able to keep it within a certain temp and certain range, and it's paid dividends for him. As you see, the gap between him and second place has ballooned from half a second to almost 8 seconds in the matter of 15 minutes. That's really all you need to do to survive at some of these MX-5 tracks, and Joshua Jackson has really done what it needs to be done for a winner tonight.
Yeah, and there's no competition for him. 8 seconds. Your fastest battle on track as, Jake Ham, who is the 3rd fastest car on track right now. He's making some good time back there in the 21 after getting involved in a couple accidents, having to make a couple pit stops. He is 2.5 seconds faster than Charles Abert last time around, so he is closing that gap pretty quickly to the 7 car. He might be able to take P6 before this is all said and done, although it will be another 10 seconds from Abert to Calvert there for P5. So not sure if he's going to be able to close that gap, but could very easily bring home a P6 here if he keeps up the pace and keeps hounding Charles Abert. As the sun is going down on Oulton Park, I don't think this track actually has lights, so it's only going to get darker from here as we make our way through the final 12 minutes of this one tonight. The sun going out over the track as it goes out on our summer series season here in the MX-5s.
Yeah, you're definitely right. There is no lights on this track, so we might end out with some headlights to finish out this race. Looking like it probably will end up like that. But yeah, one of those tracks where, it's fun. It's also one of those tracks where you farm safety rating during week 13. I know I'm guilty of that for my sports car license. So definitely really great to see this on the schedule. Hopefully in the fall series, it's another staple. This track layout is critical to really learn these MX-5 cars. But great on our series director to have this as our final race of the season, and really great to see all these drivers out here, even though with their incidents for some of them. Great to see them out here and just logging on some laps.
And Alexander Sexauer will be bringing it into the pits for a 3rd time tonight with another incident point black flag. You get one at 16X, and then you get one every subsequent 4Xs. And I think this is his 2nd tonight, which would put him at 20X. An incident point DQ will occur at 28X. So he'll take his drive-through penalty there. He'll come back out on the racetrack, and he will want to be careful to make sure he can finish out the final 11 minutes of this one tonight.
Yeah, really hard. Once you get that first black flag, it's kind of hard to avoid the rest because you have such a small window to avoid getting another incident point. I think it's after another 2 or 4 you get another drive through, and it's hard. It's a mind game at that point. You don't want to get more off tracks, but at the same time, you're trying to go as fast as you can. I don't know how far Matt Weber's is from Sex Hour, but you don't want to give up positions because you're getting so many drive-throughs that really hamper your race.
Yeah, he's just got to nurse this car home right now. He's out of his fast repair after an incident with the tire barrier. He is taking his black flag there, so he's just got to be on the ball for the last 10 minutes of this one as we are coming down to the end of this thing here with 10 minutes to go. It is Jake Ham and Charles Abert, your closest battle on the racetrack, as Jake Ham was 3 seconds faster last time around, and I think he will likely be able to get up there to catch Charles Abert, get P6 before the end of this one, and that might end up being our final pass of the season here in the MX-5 Summer Series, barring an accident for one of these drivers who are on their own program up for farther up the field. It is 40 seconds from 4th place Jesse Fox to the car at his front bumper, which is Jordan Trask, and 35 seconds to 5th place Dave Calvert, which is the car on his rear bumper. So he is absolutely on his own program right now. I wonder if Charles Abert is just going to let Jake Ham through. I wouldn't be entirely surprised if he does, just because of how much faster Jake Ham has been. I mean, if it was half a second to second, I think Abert tries to defend that, but with 3 seconds and with not a ton on the line here really for either of these cars, championship-wise or race-wise here in the final one, I wonder if Abert just maybe lets him go and doesn't fight him too hard with 9 minutes to go as we make our way through the final 10 minutes of this race. Ham still 2 seconds back of Abert. Gap is rapidly closing. As giving you a little bit of a race recap here, Joshua Jackson still the dominating figure. Jerry gave him some scares, but he does not have the long run pace that Joshua Jackson does by any strength of the imagination. And Jackson has pulled out an 8.5 second lead over Calvin Jerry there in P2. It's 15 from Jackson to Jordan Trask in P3, who is faster than Jerry, but I don't think he has enough gas left in the tank, metaphorically, to catch that 007 car in P2. Jesse Fox, distant P4th. Dave Calvert, distant P5. Charles Abert sits 6th, and Jake Ham is getting really close to the back bumper of that car. Alexander Sexauer, he had a meatball, he had a drive-through. It's all gone wrong for him today. He's had 2 black flags, and yet he still sits in 8th with Matt Wiebers, who had to take a black flag after an early hit to the wall in P9. Jason Kristen, Chris Nail, and Jamie Libke, all in accidents and all out of the race tonight. Kristen and Nail made some mistakes, got loose, went into the wall, and Jamie Libke, a little bit of a punt received by Jake Ham just a few laps into this one. Jake Ham, the driver we are on board with right now, in hot pursuit of Charles Abert. He was another 3 seconds faster last time down. Gap is down to 3 seconds, and if he can't get it through this chicane, which I don't think he's close enough to, he always has that next chicane down there through turns 10 and 11. Charles Abert's in the voice chat, and he is telling Jake Ham that he will move over and let that 21 car by, and Jake Ham will make the pass for P6. 7 minutes left to go. It's 11 seconds separating him and Dave Calvert. It'll be a long ways to go, and I don't think he's got enough time left in this race to get it, even though he is substantially the faster car compared to the 90 of Dave Calvert at the moment, as we are well and truly coming down to the end of the season here with 7 minutes left to go. As we make our way around the racetrack, let's do a little bit, crank it up. Let's let you listen to the car noises here with 6.5 minutes left to go in the MX-5 Summer Series, and they get to crank it up for a minute or two, and we'll cut back in if there are any big moves here down the stretch. And we're back here in the Goat Locker Racing MX-5 Summer Series. I'll be solo the end of the way. I'll close y'all out here. Had some problems with for Sam Yosef, but I will take you home for Jake Ham in the 21 car. He's trying to drive his way home. He's trying to catch Dave Calvert there. There's about a 10-second gap separating those cars, but he's about a second a lap faster. That's just not really enough at the present moment. He needs to be a lot more than that with only 4 minutes left in this race and only a few laps left to go. Joshua Jackson. Oh, yeah, that's a big moment there for Jake Ham. He's taking a secret second line that no one has discovered through that corner yet so far today as he mows the lawn a little bit there. Joshua Jackson, he's taking his foot off the gas, so to speak. He is not driving it as fast as he was. His lap times have slowed down from the 152 to 153 all the way up to a 154 flat that last time around. It has been a dominating race for him, and with 8.5 seconds of a lead with 2 or 3 laps to go. I believe 3 laps to go here tonight at Oulton Park. He knows he doesn't really have to race that hard. He knows he can just vibe, make sure he doesn't wreck the car, make sure he doesn't push too hard, do anything stupid, go off track, and he will be your race winner tonight for the 4th time this season in the Goat Locker Racing MX-5 Summer Series. And Giori, 8 seconds back. Hoping against hope that Joshua Jackson runs into some problems here with the lap car of Charles Abert in the 7, but I think it's likely that Charles Abert is just going to pull out of the way as soon as Joshua Jackson gets up to the bumper there, and at 73 should be able to get through pretty cleanly. Jake Ham also up the road as a lap car. He had a bit of a scare there in turn 12, nearly lost control of that thing, but was able to hold on to it. He's running all out here. Doesn't matter that he's 10 seconds back of Dave Calvert. He wants to put down some hot laps to end this race. And hot lap he is very much doing. The gap between Giori and Traz is down to 4.5 seconds, but again, too little too late with 2.5 minutes left in this race. It'll be 2 laps to go at the line this time. I don't think either of those cars really have what they would need to make the move, as Joshua Jackson will get clear of the lap car of Charles Abert. And with 2.5 minutes left to go, we will take 2 to go here tonight at Oulton Park for a very dominant Joshua Jackson to bring it home over Calvin Giori, over Jordan Trask, and over everybody else in the field tonight. It is going to be a dominating one to the end of this. And he will, I believe, lead every lap here tonight. He was the fastest in practice. He was the fastest in qualifying. Led every lap, ran the fastest lap, and will likely win the race tonight. Joshua Jackson, we've mentioned it a few times, had some problems, had some bad races this year, but when he's on, he's on. When he's dominant, no one's touching him. And when you see him get first in practice, first in qualifying, and lead the first few laps of the race, it's pretty much a guarantee that he's going to bring it home at the end. Because when he really gets going, he has been absolutely dominant all year long in that 73 green and gold MX-5 for just a minute and a half left for him to grab himself a championship here, or grab himself second place in the championship, grab himself the most race wins here. I don't think he can catch Jordan Trask. This is all unofficial. We don't have live points. I'm kind of doing the math in my head here as we go, but I'm pretty sure he does not have the points that he would need in order to catch and pass Jordan Trask here tonight in the overall point standings at the end of this one. Trask has ran a good race. He's run 3rd. If he maybe didn't show up, if he crashed out early, if he finished 12th tonight, we might be talking about a Jordan Jackson championship, but P3 was all Jordan Trask really needed tonight, and he should be able to comfortably grab himself a title with that performance. As Joshua Jackson heads through turns 15 and 16, the final portion of this racetrack, he'll come back out onto the start-finish line and take the white flag with a 9-second lead over Calvin Giori. Absolute domination so far tonight for the 73 car of Joshua Jackson, and just one more lap of domination is all he needs to grab his 4th win in just 8 races on the season. 1 to go. White flag is in the air as he makes his way through turn 1, and you can see he's not pushing it on that grass at all. He is running very steady, very consistent, knows he doesn't have to push this car too much. He can run a very solid, even a slow lap, and as long as he keeps it on the track, keeps it between the lines, as long as he is smooth, he will bring home a title here tonight. No real battles on the track that we're watching, so we're going to stay glued to Joshua Jackson as he makes his final lap. Closest battle on the racetrack is Giori and Traz. You can see that one on your side ticker there. It's still a 3.5 second gap between the 79 of Traz and the 007 of Kalman Gyuri. Traz was 0.4 of a second quicker last time around, but that's just not enough. Too little too late for him to do anything, for him to try to make that move in the latter stages of this race. And 32 laps will be your final total tonight for the MX-5s at Oulton Park. And it'll be Joshua Jackson, the car to bring it home. He's got one more set of chicanes left. He'll make his way through turns 10 and 11, giving a wide berth to those tire barriers there. He's willing to do it if it means he's a little slower, because he does not want to risk anything tonight. He'll keep it inside the lines, inside the curbing. Not a tire dropped on the grass on this final lap for Joshua Jackson, as he has 3 corners left to go, and he will be crowned champion of the race here tonight at Oulton Park. Making his way through turn 15 now, and Kalman Gyuri getting on the radio to congratulate him as we come down to the end of this one. It's a 10-second gap. Joshua Jackson, final time through turns 16 and 17. And as he makes his way up the hill back to the start-finish line, he will be your winner tonight at Oulton Park. Green flag to checkers. Joshua Jackson does it all. Fastest practice, fastest qualifying, fastest lap time, led every lap, and he is your winner, unsurprisingly, here tonight. Dominating race for him. It'll be P2 for Kalman Gyuri, P3 for Jordan Traz, 4th tonight for Jesse Fox, who will continue his run to finish 4th in points on the season, behind the combo of Jackson, Traz, and Nail. It'll be a 5th place run tonight for Dave Calvert. He's still got a ways to go as he makes his way back around the racetrack. And 6th for Jake Ham. We're actually going to stay tuned here because Ham has closed in pretty rapidly on Dave Calvert. He was almost 4 seconds quicker last time, and that gap is currently 3 seconds. So there's an outside shot. Something happens on this last lap for P5 between Dave Calvert and Jake Ham, but I would like to stay tuned to it just in case it does, because Calvert had a very bad lap last time around. He's clearly struggling behind the wheel of the 90 car, but just needs to do enough. Keep Jake Ham behind him. Gap now down to 2 seconds separating those cars. So we're going to watch this one as it comes to a conclusion between Dave Calvert and Jake Ham. It was a good chicane there, good turn 12 as well, to even out that gap, to equalize. And I think barring a really bad corner here for Dave Calvert, he should just hold on to grab P5 over the final home stretch of this race tonight. Make his way through turns 16 and 17 here in just a moment. It's a 1.8 second gap. He's just got to make it cleanly up the hill. He will be home free for tonight's race. And yep, good corner there for Dave Calvert. He'll bring it home P5, Jake Ham P6. So let's take a look at your race results tonight here in the MX-5 series. It is Joshua Jackson taking the lead. Kalman Gyuri second, Jordan Trask third, Jesse Fox, Dave Calvert, Jake Ham, your lead lap finishers back third through 6th. Then Charles Abert, Alexander Sexauer, Matt Wiebers, Jason Kristen, Chris Nail, Jamie Libke, your 12 runners tonight. We'll take a real quick break while we wait for everybody to get up into the interview room here tonight. And when we come back, we will have your interviews here from the final race of the season at Oulton Park. Stay tuned.
To Josh Adams.
And we are back here in the final race of the MX-5 Summer Series at Oulton Park. And we will talk first to our race winner tonight, the 73 car of Joshua Jackson. Joshua, welcome to the booth. How you doing tonight?
Doing great, man.
got the win. 4th win of the season. How's it feel?
It feels pretty good. I'd actually never expected it. It was hard fought throughout this whole season, but it feels good to come out with that many wins.
Yeah, you led every lap tonight. You had the fastest lap tonight. Your fastest in qualifying, practice, race. I mean, how'd you dominate tonight?
I have no idea because honestly, I hate this track. Like, I wish I would never see this track ever again. But yeah, I don't know. I just got lucky, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it was a real dominating performance here tonight. Does it almost get boring when you're like that far up in the front, just kind of running on your own?
Actually, it's not boring. I actually tend to struggle more when I'm on my own. I'm pretty sure y'all can tell. Like, my first 4 or 5 laps of each stint would be super fast, but then once everything got going again, I couldn't really find a rhythm anymore. So my lap times were all over the place. So I'd prefer to be closer to others than by myself.
Yeah, and did you think Jerry might have had anything for you coming out of the pits there, or were you pretty confident you could stay in front of him?
You know, that whole time when he came out of the pits, I was surprised because I was like, how in the world did he gain 5 whole seconds on me? So yeah, I got pretty scared there for a second there because I knew he pit the lap before I did, so I knew he had hotter tires. I was just trying so hard not to bend it on the out lap and try to keep it under control because it's so loose on cold tires here.
All right, who do you have to thank tonight?
I want to thank Lincoln Tech, Save 22, MK Fire Designing, Zach Graphics, Indiana Apartment, Veteran Affairs, Invets, ATYL, all you guys up in the booth. Y'all always do such a good job, and then all my friends and family that watch.
All right, congrats on the win tonight, Joshua Jackson.
Appreciate it, bud.
And we will now pull into the booth our 2nd place finisher tonight, the 007 car of Calman Jerry. Calman, how you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
P2 tonight, how's it feel?
Feels pretty good. Pretty good. I was just having a conversation with Jordan and just telling him that I used up my left front tire pretty well, and I was just trying to manage the time he was making up on me. So, but it turned out pretty well, so I'm happy with the finish.
Yeah, did you think you had anything there for Joshua Jackson coming out of the pits?
No, not at all. Not at all. Josh and I raced together too, and he's much faster than I am, and he was running way more consistent times than I am also. So no, I didn't have anything. But hey, I was going to give him heck while I could, so might as well, you know.
Were you just having issues kind of holding on to the tires on the long run?
Yeah, I would say it was that very first chicane right there. I was really struggling getting around that clean, so it was really pushing that front left right there, and I'm sure that's where I kind of was getting it overheated.
All right, who do you have to thank tonight?
I just thank the series, man. I really appreciate these guys putting this series on. It's been a lot of fun. I had to take a little bit of time off, but yeah, I hope they keep this MX-5 races going. Appreciate that.
All right, congrats on P2 tonight, Calman Jerry.
Thank you very much.
And we are now going to pull into the booth tonight's 3rd place finisher, Jordan Trask. Jordan, how's it going?
It's going pretty good.
You got P3 tonight. Well, how's it feel?
Honestly, the track was pretty fun once I got it figured out there. Just got caught up with some stuff and couldn't quite get a qualifying lap down, and had to really start from behind, but managed to get it cleanly to the finish, and well, I shouldn't say cleanly, but I managed to get it to the finish, and that's about all I could ask for.
I don't have confirmation on this right now, so this is extremely unofficial, but I think you are the champion of the series. So how you feel about that?
Yeah, it was awesome. It was a lot of fun running this season, and Joshua unfortunately had some technical difficulties throughout the season, or I think it would have been a very close fight because he felt really strong there towards the end of the season. Didn't really have anything for him, but it's a really fun season to run, and I'm happy I could just consistently podium most of the field to death.
Yeah, I mean, talk to me about making your way up through the field, because I don't think you had a pole position this season, and obviously you started at the back tonight, so you were able to pass a lot of cars over the course of not just this race, but really the full season.
Yeah, a lot of the season for me has just been trying to get better at road racing. Like, I don't do a ton of road racing. I'm mostly an oval guy, NASCAR guy, and I mean, of course you have your road courses in NASCAR, your Watkins Glen, your Sonoma, Coda, but really just been trying to improve and be more confident on road racing, setting up passes, making passes, and it's been a lot of fun to run around these guys and just try to do everything I can, the cleanest I can. And overall, it was a really good experience. Had a bit of an unfortunate situation there with the 3-car pileup tonight, but managed to use the fast repair on my one pit stop and still pulled out a podium.
All right, who do you have to thank tonight?
Yeah, I got to thank iRacing, MK Fire Design, Sim Motion, Harpoon Designs, Zach Graphics, and thank you guys for the broadcast. It's a lot of fun to watch these back, and thanks to everyone at Goat Locker who puts these races on.
All right, congrats on P3 and the championship, Jordan Trask.
Thank you. Have a good one.
And that'll be the end of our coverage, not just of tonight's race at Oulton Park, but of the Goat Locker Racing MX-5 Summer Series season here tonight. It's been a great one. Kobe, do you want to turn your mic on here and tell me what you think your favorite moment has been since we've lost Samuel Joseph? I regret to inform you, Kobe Jordan's mic is not plugged in tonight, but he has had a lot of fun this season, and I will relay that message on his behalf. Thank you so much to everyone for watching us, not just tonight, but all season here live on V-Speed. And the Goat Locker Racing MX-5 Summer Series will be back in the fall with more racing action, I believe 5 or 6 nights a week here on V-Speed from Goat Locker Racing. For myself, Guy Shrek, for Daniel Parks, who was in the booth with me most of the season, for Samuel Joseph and Kobe Jordan tonight, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed all season long, and have a great night.